Well, it is now fall 2016, and I thought it was a good time to do a LEGO City update, so let's get right into it. Just going to give you a quick panel of the city before we get into more of the details. So, it's getting pretty big now. Let's start over there. Now, of course, the most obvious thing that you would see here is the pillowcase on the table. Now, that's covering up the progress that I've been working on the Tower of Terror. So this is the beginning of the base floor. The tower, the actual tower is done, and it's in my closet because I didn't have anywhere else to put it. So I'm not going to do another update until that's complete because I want that to be a big surprise. So that's what that is. Across the street, we still do have the airport, and we have the pickup and drop off area, just as last city update. And I haven't made too many changes to that because I do like that. And again, there is the small parking lot. And I gotta get my finger out of there. And now we're onto the airport tarmac. And I am slowly, very slowly expanding this jet. It's been like that for like 3 months, but I will get there eventually when I stop buying parts for the Tower of Terror. So the tarmac hasn't changed really since I built it back in March, maybe. Okay, and then moving back down the street, we have the pet shop and the brick bank, and those are looking just fine. Now we're gonna move down Main Street a little bit more. I had to switch angles there. As we move down Main Street, you can see the greenery that's been complete for a little while now. And as I've said always, I just really love the way that turned out. Of course, we have the Parisian Restaurant and the Grand Emporium. Those are looking great. And if we take a right coming off of Main Street, we have the Cinema Palace and Detective's Office. This street has virtually been unchanged since the beginning. I do have the entrance to the subway here with no stairs, and then of course here is the subway. I will get to stairs eventually. They were there, then I took them for something else, and now I don't have any more. So it's kind of like expanding the plane. It will happen. It'll just when I have the ambition. Here's the fire brigade and the city offices that is connected to the train lot harbor. What is it called? Train yard. And you've got, of course, this set here, and you have a few cargo trains parked here. I did modify this driveway so it didn't have that weird curve anymore. Now it just goes straight back, which is a lot better. And if you see here, we'll take a look at it from the other side later, but I added a wall, a security wall, and a nice wall. So when you're in the courtyard of the skyscraper, you don't see all the trains and stuff. So next to the trains, we still do have the harbor, and that looks great. When I modified the driveway, I had to move it this way. So now there's a little bit more water over here, which looks good. Yeah, so that's what that is. Going back over to the street, we're going to move down to the non-Lego curve. And that is just, that's looking fine. And we get to the skyscraper and the courtyard. Here's a look at that wall. It's just a dark tan wall with some green leaves in it. Looks great. And when you're down on, if I can get that low, when you're down here, the trains disappear behind the wall, and I think it looks good. Of course, here's the skyscraper, and you saw in the beginning I added a leaf because now it is autumn, and at least where I live, it's autumn, so I decorated for that just by putting a leaf. Moving back down the street and taking a left, now we've got the car dealership. This corner was a little bit awkward because of this really tight corner, but I made it work. So I had the car dealership, a public parking lot right there, and back there, if you can see, I do have my 3 custom Disney Store, Apple Store, and McDonald's. Those are kind of hidden away, but they fill in that space just perfectly. Up there, I do have the water tower or the Earful Tower. That again is one of those projects that I started, and I'm just letting it sit until I have the ambition to complete it. And then now here we have the Disney Castle. So this is the first city update to have this. And the way it's incorporated in the city is I'm thinking of it as a historical landmark, which is why right here there's an information center. Eventually I'll add trees and make it look nice, but for right now, that is what it is. We're going to keep moving down that street, but I'm going to move over there. So there's the castle from the other angle, and now coming down the street, so you can see next to the other side of the Grand Emporium, we have the townhouse that came with the pet shop, and then we have the entrance to my custom train station. Now, I didn't really focus too much on the actual entrance and whatnot, and that the train station isn't done yet, but It's getting there. It's slow progress like all the other things. Everything is taking a break for the Tower of Terror because I'm really into that right now. So that's there. It's getting slowly completed. We go across this awkward area and we find two townhouses that are just kind of plopped in the middle of the city. Of course, you have the Ferris Wheel, and if you follow me on Instagram, you would have saw this. This is now it looks like Mickey's Fun Wheel, kind of. I just put some Mickey heads on. There's one on the other side as well. And then if we kind of, it's hard to fit back here, but we have the toy and grocery shop, the Lego store, and the pizzeria. So that's this corner of the city. Here's a look at the other side of Mickey's Fun Wheel, or just the Lego Ferris Wheel, which finally brings us back to the pillowcase in the Tower of Terror, which does complete my city tour and loop of my ever-expanding Lego City. I am out the doorway right now, and I can barely get it in. There we go. Looks great right now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And of course, I will be seeing you next Sunday.